Welcome to session 6 of my series of the core curriculum for world changers and history makers. And this week we're going to have a look at destiny discovery. And once again, I'm going to highlight changes because I think that's a really helpful way for people to see, oh yeah, those things have changed, and it helps you to make the same changes in your life. Last week we looked at beliefs, the changing way that we express our beliefs in God. I used Bill's 4 pillars: that God is good, nothing is impossible, Jesus has won absolute victory, and we are significant. These are incredible pillars, but they also connect to 4 changes of behavior. Because when God's good, we dream big. When nothing's impossible, we take risks. When Jesus has won absolute victory, we trust. And when we realize that we are significant, we serve well. And this, again, these things aren't isolated. They're all connected. They all overlap and work together. And I want to have a look this week because during the course, and especially He Wastes Nothing in the future, we're going to be doing some work on destiny discovery. And I've just noticed that there is a change in the way that we approach destiny and destiny discovery. Actually, I don't really like the word destiny very much. And even that's the subject of a change, because when I was growing up, destiny really was about fate. And destiny, to be honest, I more associated with the New Age kind of movement. But it's become a part of the Christian and the church language. And I'm okay with that. But it's kind of interesting that that of itself was part of a change. What is destiny? It's very important for me that every one of you realize that destiny isn't just out there. Destiny isn't a goal that I'm heading towards and that one day I'll get there. Destiny is right here, right now, beneath my feet. If I don't believe that I'm in my destiny today, I'm wasting today, and I'm not accessing what is available for me today to nourish me today, but also to nourish me today in preparation for tomorrow. So you're in your destiny right here, right now. And I often say that destiny is kind of like the sum total of who I am, what I'm here for, and where I'm going. And I really take that from the life of Jesus, where He constantly said who He was, what He was here for, and where He was going. In other words, His identity, His purpose, and His destiny all wrapped up in one place. So destiny. These are some changes in the way we approach destiny discovery. And they either have affected you, are affecting you, or will affect you. And as we go further through this course, you'll see that these are vital. And again, these relate to our changing world. These relate to our changing church. These relate to our changing beliefs, because if we move from being a worthless sinner to a worthy saint, we see that our destiny discovery is much more about us and discovering on the inside rather than being told what to do from the outside to fit into some sort of religious model or conforming to the way that Christians should live their lives. So let's just start here, taken from the word destiny, but I believe we've seen a shift from a fate, a no control, to a participation, co-laboring destiny discovery. In other words, many of us, I think, did have that. Well, that's just the way your life is. That's nothing you can do about it. Well, our world is so opened up that there are so many things that we can do about our lives, and it's not just, we don't just have to fold our arms and accept that that's our lot in life, but we step into a participation with God in our discovery. And some beautiful scriptures. Proverbs 20 verse 5, the plans of a man are like deep water, and a man of wisdom draws them out. There's a sense of co-laboring there, of us participating in discovering our future and our plans. So this is a big shift, a shift that affects your mind, your attitude, the way that you think. You don't have to just take stuff. You actually are able to change things, to change even the generational stuff that came down to you. Instead of having to accept it, well, that's the way it's always going to be. My family's always going to live that way. That's just how we are. No, it now becomes an invitation to co-laboring and discovering what God has for you with a great deal more participation from you. And of course, that leads to more hope and more joy in this area of destiny discovery. And then another big shift, and I would say one of my favorites really, is the shift from like a sense of, well, pain, if you like. My joke would always be, it seems as though if 30 years ago I was going to be sent somewhere, it would have been somewhere painful. I wouldn't have dreamed that I'd have been sent, as it were, to California, somewhere beautiful and warm and wonderful climate. That's a shift. Now, there are times when people are called and are sent to places where there is a price to pay. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but that's not the kind of the first emphasis. Of course there's sacrifice. Of course we all have opportunities to be willing to pay a price in pursuit of what God has for us. But it's not like the first thinking. It's not, you make your decisions by saying yes to the most painful thing and no to something that might seem more appealing. Actually, I believe that God does put the desires in your heart. And so this piece here of passion is really important and is dear to my heart, is to help people discover what they love, what they're passionate about, what is beautiful to them, that we can start our destiny discovery from that place, from a place of, well, what's beautiful? A couple of places in the Bible where beauty and glory are put together, and that sense of beauty being related to glory, finding what's beautiful to you and using it to bring glory to God. And so this is a shift of moving from, well, if it's the will of God, it might feel like it's against your will, to discovering what's beautiful, discovering your passions, and realizing that your opportunity is to reveal to the world what God put in your heart, what He said was beautiful to you, and He put it in there, and He's looking for you to put it on display to bring glory to Him, and whatever that might mean to you. So another shift in the way that we discover our destiny, discover the reason why we're alive. And another one, again, very related to what I talked about with beliefs, but it's the shift from a mindset of being slaves to being sons. Slaves are told what to do. Slaves aren't rewarded in the same way for what they do, but sons, it's completely different. And sons become inheritors of the family business. The beautiful picture, of course, of the elder brother in Luke 15, the story of the father who had the two sons. That elder brother who really, he had a slave mindset going on out there in the field, going, hey, I've been working hard all these years, and my brother went off and wasted the money, and he comes back and gets celebrated. He was missing the fact that he was a son. He was missing the fact that the father said, I've always been with you, and everything I have is yours. Once we realize that we're sons and daughters, that affects our destiny discovery. I love a word that's not that popular, to be honest, in our modern world, but it's the word duty. And duty is not arduous. Duty is our privilege. And sons and daughters do have duty. Princes and princesses do have a duty. But that duty is out of a place of privilege, out of a place of favor. And we may well serve, and we may well do things that are hard, but we do them because there's a delight in our being positioned to serve the King. Very much like a member of the royal family here will serve the Queen. There might be a sense of duty. It might cost them a little bit. They might not be able to live their lives like just a normal, regular citizen of the country, but their privilege is that they are changing history, and they are maintaining the monarchy, the royal family and the tradition. And that's really what we get to do. We get to live out lives where there may be duty involved, but we're taking our place in history, and we are maintaining, as it were, the royal family of heaven on earth. And so we change. It's not a slave mindset, but a son mindset. And of course, a son mindset co-laborers in the family business. A son mindset is encouraged by the family to discover what they love and to pursue that. And then lastly in this is a shift in a mindset of from doing first to discovering first. Many of us, I think, have found ourselves in a place where we do something and we do it well. And people, because of that, kind of plan a future for us. And then, you know, my humor would be this: we do it until our 40s or 50s and we have a midlife crisis. And then we discover. I actually believe that there is a discovery first model that is really vital for us. The Bible really talks about this, about discovering, because it says it's the glory of God to conceal a matter. It's the glory of kings to search it out. The Bible has a discovery kind of emphasis in there, and we should have that. And we should have that in our destiny discovery. You know, a lot of time in the future courses, we're going to be helping you to do some discovery. What's God put inside of you? What's He put in your family line? What are your strengths? What are your gifts? What have your generations before you already achieved that you can build on? So you work on some discovery. And once you start to discover, you start to dream. And then once you've dreamed, you design and you deliver. But you're designing and delivering out of discovery and dreaming. These are changes. But these are changes in the way that people discover their destiny that really fit the world we're in today. You see, let's go back to the church. It's not about us going to the church and, to exaggerate it, the church telling us what a good Christian looks like and we try and fit into that box. It's about us going to the church and the church helping us to discover who we are, what we love, and how we can make a difference in the world, and being empowered from that place to go and make that difference. And that then fits in with the world. The world doesn't need to be filled with people who are doing what they do because they were told to do it. The world needs to be filled with sons and daughters who discover who they are, discover why they're here, and delight to play their part in seeing the influence of King Jesus spread across the whole world. So destiny, it fits with the church, it fits with our changing beliefs, it serves the changing world, and it really is about what I'm going to look at next week, and it is really about how do we raise up big people? How do we become big people? And actually, what are big people? And a lot of what we're going to do in the coming weeks will be about that, but especially next week, I am going to look with you at big people. But for now, which is the one of these that you need to work on? Maybe you are right now a little bit stuck and you're trying to work out, why am I alive? Well, let me just give you one simple clue. Jesus said, my food is to do the will of Him who sent me. I want to encourage you, look for where you're nourished. Look for where you're fed. Look for where you feel encouraged, built up, energized, refreshed. And just focus on that a little more. And you know, you might even be in a mundane job. But if that mundane job is putting food on the table, ultimately it's nourishing you. As you focus on where the nourishment comes from, it will, I believe, renew your energy to pursue more destiny discovery based around these things. And it really is beautiful when we discover what feeds us, what nourishes us. And of course, Jesus' great pleasure in life was to bring pleasure to His Father. And when we know that our Father is a good God, then our destiny discovery takes on a new focus, a new emphasis, and we get to realize that He is waiting for us to discover who we really are so that we can live lives nourished by Him and that we can be pleasing to our Father and put a smile on His face. So which one of these do you need to work on? Maybe you need to repent in one of these areas. Maybe you've had a slave mentality. Maybe you've had a, well, it doesn't matter that it hurts, I'm just going to plow on anyway. Or maybe you've got a faithful mindset that says, that's my lot in life. Or maybe you just need to start with a simple turning away from those things and begin to press in and embrace the fact that He is a good dad and He gave you the desires of your heart and He wants you to discover them so that you can use them to bring glory to His name.